When setting up a new property, start under the Property Management tab. You'll then click on New House. Next, use all of the necessary fields to add the address of the property. This information will then auto-complete to all of the transactions and documents within those transactions for this property. It's also very important to add the landlord contact information at this stage in setting up your new property management file. You'll do this by clicking New Contact. The signer role has defaulted to landlord, but notice that you have the option to change this from the drop-down. When creating the property, you'll never want to add contacts like tenants at this point. This is because however tenants may be long-term, they are never assumed to be permanent contacts for that property. As tenants will be changing throughout time, it's better to add them at the transaction level. The landlord contact is generally the starting point when adding contacts as you're creating the property in your account. Use the appropriate boxes to add first, middle, and last names of the signer. If the contact will be signing for a company or trust, check the box to add the company name and the title for the signer. Adding contact information here will ensure that it populates to any transactions created under this property file. Email addresses and phone numbers will also be readily available when needed. Once you've finished adding all of the property and contact information, click the Save button. The property and landlord contacts have been created, and now you can create a new transaction with the landlord, tenants, or other parties related to this property. Let's start with creating a new transaction with the landlord by clicking New Transaction. Now we'll select the landlord as the transaction type. Template documents can be added to your account and used for any new transaction you create. To select a template document, click Select Templates. To select an entire set of documents that have been organized by folders, click the checkbox next to the folder name. Individual documents can be selected or deselected separately. When you're done making your selections, click Finish Selecting Documents. Before creating your transaction, take notice of the contacts for this transaction displayed below. Because we added the landlord's contact information at the property level, it is now auto-populated to this transaction as Landlord 1. If additional contacts are needed, make sure to use the placeholders already existing in this section. If you did not see the contact you need, and there is not a placeholder, use the New Contact link to add a new contact to this transaction only. Now click Create Transaction. The documents have now been added under this landlord transaction for this property. To begin completing the documents, simply click the name of the one you want to start filling out. Notice the property address and the landlord name have auto-populated into the document, along with all of the interactive fields required to complete the document. If needed, additional fields like signature boxes can be added. Once the document has been filled out, make sure to click the Save button. Now close this tab to return to your account. When you're ready to email contracts for signature, start by either selecting an individual document or by checking the box in the header to select them all. Now click Compose Email to create your message and send your document. Once in the email page, click the To section to select an email address. Any contact you've added a name and/or email address for will display in the drop-down. Any contact that you've entered two email addresses for example work and home, will show twice, so you have the option to select between them. If you've added a contact but not an email address for that contact, they'll appear in red, alerting you that you're missing the email address for you to add by clicking. Email addresses for non-signers can be typed into the To section to receive a read-only version of the documents. Use the section below to type the body of your email message, then click the Send button. When the signer receives the email, they'll see your message as well as links to each document you sent them to review. Once the document is open, clicking the Next Field button will take the signer through any fields that have been assigned to them to fill out, initial, or sign. Once they've completed their assigned fields and they're ready to sign the document, they can click the signature box or the Sign Now button. The signer will have the option to sign using a font signature or to use their mouse or a touchscreen to draw their signature. The signer will need to click Create Signature, then accept their signature. Once they've taken these steps, the signature will then be embedded into the contract along with the signature date. Returning to your account, the document will show as locked. Hovering over this lock will indicate who is signed with a timestamp. Under the Settings tab in your account, you can opt into receiving email notifications and/or text notifications for all signatures on your documents. Make sure you've added your phone number and email to your profile. For more information about CTM software products, visit ctmsoftware.com. For existing users needing assistance with the software, contact support with the phone number or email address below.